Alright, so here's the amp. This is actually the typical subwoofer that comes with this. It uses a typical PC cable power, which is actually pretty cool, instead of using some kind of a proprietary block. The other end is just that typical 3-prong. So the way to test it is you could use any amp for the LFE out, but you can also just use a typical RCA connector. Line in, white, red. The other one's high pass, so that you could daisy chain them. You could do multiple subs, which is a pretty cool feature too. The way you don't have to rely on your receiver or amp, whatever, to actually have that feature built in. Okay, so just turn it on. On right there. So auto means that it will detect anything that's going on. So let's say if I were to play I'll just go and play some sweeps. On. There. It detected a signal, but right now it's playing higher than is bandpass. This thing's only rated to play up to about 250 hertz, which is typical for sub. So as I lower, we start seeing some action. See? Hear it? And I go up. I'm actually in a surprisingly flat response, if you can kind of see from the driver who's playing without even a cabinet, which is pretty surprising. It's a pretty good driver. Here, let me put the camera in front. Let's see. Obviously the driver is not supposed to just be playing in open air. That's fine, but it's pretty linear. See? It goes all the way down from there to there. So if it was actually in a box, it'd be much smoother. So yeah, so we have different features here. If you have any ground issues, like I don't have any ground issues, but some people have bad power lines, and then so you have the ability to do ground flow right here, which will get rid of any ground humming, which is actually a very, very cool feature this thing has that a lot of other things don't have. The only other way to fix that is to actually do what's called a ground float, which is where you actually snip one of the wires in the cable on one side and not on the other side, which then draws the ground towards the source and away from the actual output. Okay, then you also got music and cinema mode. The difference here is that music is flat because you want pretty much a flat response so that it sounds as like true to the way the producer intended as possible. Cinema, no one really cares about accuracy. They just want things to feel awesome. So there's actually a boost with cinema where it'll actually boost around the frequencies that rumble the most, which is pretty much around like 40 to 50. It also gives you a slope here. This is pretty cool too, because this actually is there to help you blend your speaker, because some speakers actually have a steeper roll off than others. So it lets you choose between 12 dB roll off versus 24 dB. So that way you could more seamlessly blend between your speaker and your sub as you're transitioning from high frequencies to low frequencies. So here you have your crossover, input gain, and phase adjust. And this is kind of cool because they don't have that generic just flip 180 thing. You actually have like a full analog 360-degree phase adjustment, which is really cool. Means you could adjust like literally like the exact timing parameter of the wave inside your room. So for the crossover frequency, you'd want to adjust it to whatever the lowest your speaker will go comfortably, and then add about 10 or 15 just to kind of play it a bit safe. So if your speakers go down to, let's say, 35, you want to set around 50. And then from 50, what that means is it'll actually start kicking in around 50 hertz on. See? Start kicking at 50 hertz. Or you could turn it up higher. So let's say your speakers are crappy, like Logitech or something that only goes down to like 120 hertz or whatever. You'd bring up to about 120, and that way, as you're going down towards 120, now the bass starts kicking in. So it gives you that flexibility of being able to match it to exactly how your speakers best blend, with both the slope option and the crossover option. The gain option allows you to match the levels, and then the phase option allows you to match the timing. So it gives you pretty much every single thing you want. The music and media, the music and cinema is just pretty much a matter of taste, whether you prefer more accurate music reproduction or just more fun rumble. A lot of people might just want even the cinema mode just for like rocking out for parties and stuff, just because it is just more fun. Slope's fun to play with, and that's something that you're gonna have to play with yourself too, because unless you want to actually do the research, but it's just gonna be whatever best suits the blend from your mains to the sub. And again, the ground switch is only necessary if you have a ground hum. Otherwise, you don't have to mess with it. You just leave it ground in. Yeah, and that's about it. So we have auto, and then you have manual. Manual stays on all the time. Auto will actually switch off if it detects no signal for an extended period of time. It'll flash red, go into standby, and then once it detects a signal, it'll turn back on. And so yeah, that's pretty much all the features, and as you can see, it actually works swimmingly. I hope the mic's able to kind of capture the bass. I don't know how well this computer mic is able to do that, but you can kind of see like the sweep right here. Let me look at the camera. Am I even in focus? I'll turn it all the way up. There, so the crossover is super high right now. Yeah. So yeah, this is the 8-inch long throw subwoofer. See the really big magnet back there. This is the one that typically comes paired with a PSW 1150. So if you're having problems with this, I actually do have a replacement driver for that too. So either case, you're covered as long as you have the box. But from what you're describing, most likely you are having an amp issue. But if not, then it would be a driver issue. So it's pretty much the only two options it could be. But okay, well, because I'll see you on Sunday.